Great. So another successful presentation, and that brings up our next guest, my dear friend Alex Petronenko, product evangelist here at Creatio. Hola, muchacho.
Hi, Eric. How are you today?
Good, good. It's a great topic, and I think that there's not a better speaker to walk the audience through this. So, using AI-powered low-code platforms to boost teams and process efficiency. I've seen you work wonders in the tool, and I'm looking forward to this presentation, Alex. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Eric. Well, yes, AI is definitely a very exciting and a very interesting topic, specifically when you think about how the world is changing and how organizations are changing together with AI and any kind of machine-generated insights into the work of the users. And today we're going to be talking about a couple of topics that are related to AI, right? And how exactly AI is actually going to be, changing the world. How you can actually improve the AI adoption with a low-code application platform that Creatio is, and as well have a look at the capability of Creatio's AI machine learning models right now, right? So definitely stick around, guys. Drop your questions into the chat area. Let us know what you think. Share your thoughts as usual, right? And we're going to get started. I know that we are, as always, a little bit behind on time, so not going to waste any more time. So first of all, even a simple definition of an AI can be all summarized into process knowledge. The idea here is that the system can mimic, can, kind of introduce human-like thinking into the work of the end users. And first of all, cover two main areas: perform certain human-like actions to boost their adoption, to minimize that manual data input, right, or manual data update, and as well provide an overview over the accumulated data that is out there in order to provide guidance and provide certain level of insight into what that data is, right? And of course, low code, we've talked about low code hundreds and hundreds of times over these past couple of days, right? But of course, the low code is standing for an one button deployment, right? To use zero or minimum programming or professional IT knowledge as something that you learn to be in order to actually deliver business applications. And first of all, we're definitely going to start with the artificial intelligence, right? And there are really four key pillars if you think about the AI-enabled future, as we call it, right? So what will the adoption of AI be supported by? First of all, it's definitely the organizations and the companies that are adopting and are utilizing best practice of AI in order to boost their operations, in order to make their users more efficient, right? Of course, moving from there is the automation level. Think about the world where you don't have to perform, data search yourself. You don't have to perform the, and you don't have to really remember too much about the deals that you're previously working on, but you can rely on the machine to provide you guidance within those processes, right? And within those manual data updates. And of course, it's all about improving the experience of the end user's experience, the human experience, right? Where we as well can provide a better level of, independency of the users and actually support the user and the person with AI machine learning models. And then, of course, having the knowledge about what is the probability, the likelihood of working within your process, right? Making you sufficient, right? Giving you guidance all over the place is as well quite helpful. And basically, there's been a lot of research, right? There's been a lot of different discoveries that were led by leading industry analysts, and Gartner being one of them, that really are predicting that by the end of 2024, at least 75% of all of the organizations will move from trying out AI technologies to actually making this part of the day-to-day operations, right? And we'd definitely like to see our customers implementing AI into their work, right? And using different perspectives over the data and over the AI technologies in different use cases. So from here, what else is going to be happening in the AI world, right? Well, first of all, AI will be helping to refine business processes. AI will help to identify bottlenecks and improve the design experience of those processes to make not only the end user operations more efficient and more productive, but as well the design experience of the application. Now, definitely, the personalization that is happening across the customer and the user journey, mostly customer journey, is as well going to be improving, and all of the different content that will come across is going to be hyper personalized across every step from interest to complete the purchase. Now, of course, the way that the users are adopting AI is definitely going to be changing, because when they're going to see the value and the improvements in the revenue and their operations, they're going to be more eager and more open to adopt AI. And just simply making data more accurate is going to be as well changing the way that the organizations think about AI and how they're implemented. And let's hear, Eric, probably stop for a quick second, right? And let's hear from our audience about what is really the primary goal of organizations that are implementing AI technologies in their work. Is it cost reduction, efficiency boost, offering personalization, right? Or the personal customer journey personalization, or just the development of new offerings? Mm-hmm. And as always, I'm going to rely on you on the results of the poll. Here. Yeah, let's probably just give it another second. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll wait for some of these results to come in, and let's check this out. All right. All right, so we have efficiency boost leading the way here, Alex. We cost reduction coming in a close second, and offerings personalization and new offerings development tied. So definitely efficiency boost by a long shot.
Yeah, well, this is really, again, kind of a backing up what has been predicted, right? What has been part of the many different researches and studies around AI, right? And how different organizations are looking at AI. And there's really a few more things that we wanted to mention here, right? Similar to what we've discussed right now, right? If you're thinking about, again, different reasons for implementation of AI, more than 40 respondents to this study performed by Gartner actually say that their priority number one is the customer experience improvement, right? And in many ways, you could say that this is part of the efficiency. Now, moving from there, of course, we can talk about the additional studies that were performed by McKinsey, right, around AI-enhanced organizations, and of course, that about those increases in the revenue that are actually delivered by the adoption of AI, and how those are being used in marketings and sales. But from here, let's really move to the low-code side of things, right? And let's talk about what is the low-code application platform, how it can actually support the adoption of AI. Now, in this case, we're again going to be coming back to some of these numbers, right, about what is the current coverage of the low-code development in the market, which is only 23%, right? And we're at the same time, at least 70% of organizations believe that low-code platforms will be more affordable than traditional software development by the time. And already, right? So this is again standing for the fact that many organizations already are thinking about more, I would say, easier ways of utilizing and building AI technologies in their operations to their work, where they can actually as well just perform, deliver those improvements to their users, to their customers. So another thing here is that, Eric, as you know, right, low-code is actually one of the best technologies that is out there to cover different aspects of operations of the organization, right? This is covering both low-code for front office operations. This is definitely covering low-code for the middle and back office operations, right? And again, having a platform like Creatio is definitely one of the ways that we see a huge value that it brings to our customers and to our partners. Wouldn't you agree?
I would definitely agree. And we see that more and more, start with a single use case and then recognize the power of low code, and it just expands across an organization.
Yeah.
So 1000% would agree.
Yeah, of course. But still, even though we do see this huge value that low-code brings to different organizations, right? One of the key findings that was performed by our study of the current state of low-code still says that out of 3 citizen developers that are I would say the target audience, right, of a low-code application platform when it gets to the delivery and the implementation of the products, 2 are IT related users, right? So 2/3 are still going to be not professional, but I would say, on the edge of the professional IT knowledge, right? System administrators, business analysts, software integrators, and only one of them would be a business user, right? And of course, this is going to change. There's going to be this is something that's going to be changing over the years in the nearest time. We're quite eager to see what would be the numbers next year. But the idea here is that, again, implementation of AI should be carried out by business users, right, rather than IT related, because again, they should be empowered by using low-code technologies and delivering those automation levels, right? And of course, Creatio as a low-code solution definitely has multiple goals in mind, right? First of all, to deliver innovation, to allow organizations be connected with their customers, partners, and employees in a completely new way of improve their experience all the way around their journey. And of course, for the middle and back offices, right, together connected to the front office to as well improve their operational experience, right, and to deliver the best system in user automation that is possible and that is out there. And the idea here is that, again, Eric, we've got a quick demonstration of our capabilities, right? So let me just quickly switch to my live system. And we're going to start with the demonstration.
System in action.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, of course, Creatio is
one of the things that we definitely need to mention here, right, is that AI is available in Creatio in all of the different aspects. And as part of the AI is to mimic some of the user experience, right, and some of the user actions. This is also starting through the very first, a very simple part of this journey, where part of the data search that users usually carry out, Creatio can actually deliver automation level to this step by automatically searching for some of this data on the customer's website, right, without users even participating into this task at all. And of course, this is one of the examples how Creatio can actually empower users with carrying out some of these manual tasks by the system, right? Where an additional layer, as you know, right, part of the CRM world is, of course, delivery of machine-generated insights into the NBO or the next best offer that can be then really provided and added to the sales, to the opportunity across any step in the life cycle of the deal, right? But where we believe is the biggest advantage of Creatio as a platform is actually the way that these data predictions, right, and this machine-generated assistance is performed and is carried out, where we can actually go back and go to our studio platform, right, the underlying technology of Creatio, and switch to our machine learning model sections, where we actually create and we monitor the performance of these models, right? So this is the area where we could actually see that the way that machine learning models are created in the Creatio is through simple point-and-click style of configuration, right? That allows us to carry out multiple different use cases of delivering those predictions across predictive scoring, classification, regression, recommendations, and search of similar text. And this is really where our customers are able, creating different ways of the way that the system is actually going to be delivering these predictions towards the same record, towards the same record across multiple different data types or data attributes, right? And then, of course, as they're going to be using these models, they can then adjust the list of the criterion parameters that are going to be taken into account with the prediction, right? And of course, change the way that they are actually going to be performing the prediction in the system. So this is really one of those ways that we are delivering this low-code approach in delivering machine learning models to the end users, right? And one of the ways, again, right, take into account certain data attributes, take those out. But another layer of automation and flexibility that we are delivering in Creatio when it gets to machine learning models, besides different types of predictions I mentioned, right, is the flexibility of actually executing those predictions, right, where the user should not be tied to only one specific use case around the, let's say, steps in the journey where the data is going to be predicted for them, but the way that the system is actually going to be delivering the prediction around any step of that journey, right? So before moving forward, right, one more time, different types of data prediction, depending on the type, recommendations, predictive scoring, text similarity, numeric predictions, and lookup predictions, right, allow us to cover most, if not all, currently different use cases that should be supported by a low-code application platform. And of course, the strategies here is to extend the number of the data prediction types, right, and as well to allow third-party machine learning models to be easily incorporated into the work of the users. So let's probably, because we are a little bit out of time, right, let's probably switch back to the presentation. Let's pause here, and let's really take a look at some of those questions in the chat area. If we've got any.
Yeah, I think we've got a few, but I think we've got time for one. So I'm going to choose an interesting one here. So the question is, how do you suggest we combine low-code and traditional development?
Sure. Well, the idea here is that low-code development is, well, at least at the current state, right, is not going to be fully replacing the traditional development. The idea of low-code development is to accelerate the design of the applications, right, and as well to minimize the involvement of the professional IT resources and professional development, and minimize the time spent on the professional development by empowering business users in using those drag and drop, point and click style of configurations that will be actually basically generating the code in the background for the organization, for the platform, right? So by accelerating the design time of the applications, you're definitely reducing the cost that it takes to deliver it, the time to deliver it, right? And allows the professional resources to be focused on the most complex integrations and most complex business logic that needs to be delivered, right? So again, in making the whole process more simple, more agile, right, and more beneficial to both the staff involved and to the organization.
Agreed. Yeah, let them focus on the heavy lifting and offset that with some citizen development.
Correct.
Get all kinds of comments in here, Alex. Great demo. Everybody loves what they see. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure as always, sir.
My pleasure, Eric. Thank you very much as well, and have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.